Lizzo, Grammy winner, flute player, body positivity icon, and as of this week, a woman who just told the entire world that she made a deal with herself as a teenager that she would not lose her virginity until she won a Grammy. And then she won 3 in one night, and she kept her promise. I am not making a single word of this up. Let's get into it. So Lizzo appeared on the Friends Keep Secrets podcast on April 1st, yes, April Fool's Day, which makes this even better, hosted by Benny Blanco, Lil Dicky, and Kristen Bottalucco. And somewhere in the middle of what was supposed to be a normal celebrity sit-down, she casually dropped one of the most surprising personal revelations any celebrity has shared in years. She said she did not have sex for the first time until she was in her 30s. In 2020, after she won a Grammy, because that was the deal she made with herself when she was younger. She said, quote, "I was a late bloomer. I lied about it for a long time." Let me walk you through the full timeline because the details here are incredible. Lizzo, at some point when she was young, made herself a promise. She would not have sex until she won a Grammy. Now, I want you to sit with the confidence that requires for a second. Most people set goals like, I'll go to the gym 3 times a week, or I'll save up for a vacation. Lizzo looked at herself and said, Grammy, that's the bar. I will wait. Cut to February 2020, the 62nd Grammy Awards. Lizzo is nominated. And she doesn't just win, she wins 3. Best Pop Solo Performance for Truth Hurts, Best Traditional R&B Performance for Jerome, Best Urban Contemporary Album for 'Cause I Love You. Triple Grammy night, biggest night of her career. She goes home, presumably in a sequined gown holding 3 trophies. And then, in the months that followed, she kept her promise to herself. She was very clear on the podcast. It was not the night of the Grammys. The timeline was respected, the deal was honored. The Grammys were won first. She said on the podcast, I feel a weight off my chest right now, because she had been carrying this secret for years. And here's the part of the story that absolutely sent me. She had been actively lying about it. She told this story. She was in college, she was in a friend group of girls, they were having a girls' night. One of them turned to her and said, casually, the way people do, "Wait, Lizzo, are you a virgin?" And Lizzo, in front of her whole group friend, said no, immediately, no hesitation. And then, as if that wasn't enough, she added, and I'm quoting directly, "I said I love the D. I said that. It was so fucking embarrassing." She loves the D. She had never had sex. She just said it in front of everyone to protect herself from the social awkwardness of being honest. And then she carried that lie for years until this podcast on April 1st in front of Benny Blanco and Lil Dicky. There's also a bonus story in this interview that I have to mention. Lizzo talked about her relationship with her boyfriend Mike Wright, musician, TV personality, someone she has been with publicly since 2022. She said they first met in 2016 when they co-hosted an MTV music series called Wonderland together, but they did not start dating until 2021. So she met him, 5 years passed, she won her Grammys, she kept her promise to herself, and then she started dating him. That is a complete narrative arc. She also said, and this is my favorite detail in the entire interview, that she does not like kissing with tongue, under any circumstances, with anyone, except him. Quote, "The only person I like it with is my man. I can't stand it with anyone else." Lizzo's boyfriend is the only human being on earth she will swap spit with, and she said it on a podcast to Benny Blanco with full confidence. Here's what I actually think is remarkable about this story, underneath all the funny headlines. Lizzo has been one of the most talked about women in entertainment for the past 5 years. She has been celebrated, criticized, sued, canceled, uncanceled, discussed, debated. She has been one of the most publicly visible celebrities alive. And this whole time, through all of it, she was carrying around a secret about herself that she had been ashamed of. Not because it was bad, not because she did anything wrong, but because as a young woman, she felt the social pressure to lie about her own experience, rather than admit she was doing things on her own timeline, on her own terms. The Grammy commerce is funny, but what it actually is a young woman deciding for herself what the conditions needed to be before she was ready. Not peer pressure, not a relationship, not a milestone anyone else set. Her own milestone, her own bar. And she hit it. And then she lied about it for over a decade because the world made her feel like her timeline was embarrassing. That part is not funny. That part is really, really common. Hot take. I love the D, delivered with zero prior experience, is one of the most chaotic and relatable self-preservation instincts any human being has ever displayed in a college dorm. And Lizzo telling this story in 2026 on a podcast with Lil Dicky present is genuinely one of my favorite celebrity moments of the year. She set a goal, she hit the goal, she kept the promise, she told the truth, eventually, on April Fool's Day. Drop your reaction in the comments because I need to know if anyone else has made a deal this specific with themselves. Like this video if Lizzo just became your hero today. Subscribe because the celebrity world is never boring, and I will see you in the next one.